Greetings, I'm Sean Redman, aka the cheesily named Darth Shawn. And this week in comics, we got a new Darth Vader comic. Darth Vader number 17. We're now 2 issues removed from the Vader Down event that they did, and so they're trying to bring the Darth Vader story to a new angle and starting to move forward as Vader is on this planet and dealing with royalty and the inner workings of the Empire and how it works with planets. And as a whole, this issue is very interesting. It's not as gripping as some of the other ones, but there's a lot of interesting things that I think are going to build in the future with Vader, especially how it relates to him in the Empire and how the Empire views him. They're on this planet that's dealing with a lot of politics, but it's dealing with royalty and different factions trying to fight and a lot of different pieces coming together, but Vader has backed one side and is starting to, send messages. And so there's a very interesting level of politics in this. As a whole, the issue, as I said, just doesn't do a whole lot. Vader's fights some people. Vader meets with a bounty hunter who tells him Dr. Aphra's dead, gives the body, but it turns out it's not the body. So there's just there's subsets. Well, we know Aphra's been kidnapped in the Star Wars comic series, and so that's kind of still, they're going along the same kind of timeline, which is always really cool when you have them kind of going side and side and interacting and weaving through each other, which they did very well with the Vader Down event. But as a whole, this issue is it's kind of meh. There's some very good things and some very bland things as a whole. It's not a revolutionary comic. It's not amazing, but it definitely does set up a story that I think we're going to be getting going forward that should be really good. The thing that I think I love about this comic is, as I mentioned, that there's this inner working with the Empire and how a lot of the Empire, when they view it, that's when they send down and Vader goes and does his thing, it's a win for Darth Vader, but not always a win for the Empire. And there's kind of that conflict we see in this comic, and that was interesting to see, especially in the new canon, as they continue to show us more of the side of the Empire that we hadn't seen, and the way it relates to how people, it's a job for some people, it's, their pursuit of power for other people. It's just a very interesting dynamic, and they've kind of started to play on this and how Vader works in that dynamic, and I felt that was kind of interesting that they're starting to touch on that, and I look forward to seeing if they continue doing that in later issues. The art in this comic continues to be fantastic. I don't think there has been really a Darth Vader comic. We're now through 17 that I remember saying, wow, the art wasn't particularly good. They've really nailed the art in this comic. It fits always the style of Vader. And so continuing that trend that they've done is really, really well. And so it just, I said, there's good things to like about this comic, but as a whole, nothing that breaks down any huge barriers, nothing new like some of the other comics have been, like Shattered Empire, or even the Vader Down arc was much more grandiose. But I think they're going to go somewhere pretty big as they build again, but we're starting to run out of time. There's only a finite number of days and time that you can do in between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, which is where this takes place. So either they're going to have to skip ahead in time or end the series sometime, and I think skipping ahead would be very interesting. Maybe a little in between Empire and Jedi. Maybe go back in time a little bit and do a little bit in between Revenge and A New Hope. Heck, you could do something really weird, and maybe if you want to incorporate Force Ghosts after Return of the Jedi. But, they've got a lot of room to continue going on, and I'd like to see them maybe refresh this series up whenever they're kind of done with this story. In the end, like the comic, I think everyone should check it out and continue reading Vader. It is definitely worth your time. This one is not as great, but I think it's going to set up for what's really, really good. So following the Vader comic, it's been very, very consistent for over 12 issues now. So it's definitely something to check out. But what did you guys think? Did you like this comic? Did you not? Let me know in the comments below. As always, like this video and subscribe to the channel. And I am Sean Redman, aka the cheesily named Darth Shawn. And may the Force be with you. Always.